Hello there, Knight's Burgers. That's what I'm gonna call you from today, Knight's Burgers, because the 7 people that watch me, one of them is me. So the 7 people that watch me should have a name. We should start this thing. We should have a name, and I will name you guys, and one of them is myself. So this part, this piece is gonna be named the Knight's Burger. How'd you like it? Knight's Burger. Chum, homie. As you may know, I am a conservative thinker.
I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican, in that order.
And I like to listen to the people who think like me. And I say fuck you to those people who don't agree with me. That's the conservative way of life. Because you know that you're correct. That's the sort of epitome of conservatism. My favorite personality, TV personality, is Bill Maher. Yep. Don't judge me, all the conservative fans out there. Knight's Burgers, conservative Knight's Burgers. So, Bill Maher is one of my favorite TV personalities because on the surface, he looks like he's a
liberal,
and he cares about the world and the planet and the atheism and all the stuff that no one should care about. But he also says some stuff which I like because I'm a conservative. I like it when sometimes he becomes like this ultra conservative personality, which obviously, I like. And the second thing I like about him is that he is absolutely flawless when it comes to arguing, because he argues like a conservative. Got my ass some headphones. Not headphones, these are earpods. So I'm just gonna plug them into my computer and we'll listen to the book. I mean, gold mine, if you know what I mean. This is one of my favorite episodes of, what's the name of the show? Real Time with Bill Maher. And this is when he became an idol for me, especially as a conservative, when I found out that he was actually a conservative hiding under a liberal. So this is my favorite episode. Let's just watch it together, because I'm a reaction channel from now. I'm not making political videos, I'm just making reaction videos, because that's the stuff that gives you the... And if I get 10,000 views on this video, my channel will be monetized and I will be able to buy as much pizza as I want. Oh my god. At this time, I have just a few... Just a 500 Pakistani rupees, which equates to $5, that's it. Anyways, so I need to get that YouTube money. That's why I'm gonna make reaction videos from now. Play that shit.
Liberals need to stand up for liberal principles.
Of course, as you may know, Bill Maher is a conservative, as I think. And in this episode, he becomes like an absolute ludicrous level conservative. And that's what I like. That's when you actually show your people, the conservatives, that you're not part of the brainwashed sheeple society, and that you actually care about the world and you know about the truth that is hiding from the liberals in this world. And he's correct, and he's the only person who thinks that way. That's why he's correct, and he's awesome, because he appeals to those who think like him.
This is what I said on last week's show. Obviously, I got a lot of hate for it, but all I'm saying is that liberal principles like freedom of speech, freedom to practice any religion you want without fear of violence, freedom to leave a religion, equality for women, equality for minorities, including homosexuals. These are liberal principles that liberals applaud for. But then when you say in the Muslim world this is what's lacking, then they get upset.
Yeah. Well, liberals.
When you say in the Muslim world this is what's lacking, then they get upset.
Yeah. Well, liberals have really failed on the topic of...
So what he's doing actually is that obviously he's a conservative. Great deal. Obviously he's a conservative, and he is throwing the liberal card on the liberals to shame them into conservatism. That's what he's doing. That's why I love him so much, because he's so diverse and he's so hypocritical. He wears a mask of liberalism and pretends that he's a liberal, well, actually he's a conservative.
Topic of theocracy. They'll criticize white theocracy. They'll criticize Christians. They'll still get agitated over the abortion clinic bombing that happened in 1984. But when you want to talk about the treatment of women and homosexuals and free thinkers and public intellectuals in the Muslim world, I would argue that liberals have failed us. And the crucial point of confusion, thank you.
Thank God you're here.
Well, I mean, the crucial point of confusion is that we have been sold this meme of Islamophobia, where every criticism of the doctrine of Islam gets conflated with bigotry toward Muslims as people.
Right.
And that is, it's intellectually ridiculous. Even it gets.
So hold on, are
racist.
you the person who understands the officially codified doctrine of Islam? You're the interpreter of that, so you can say, well, this is...
I'm actually well educated on this.
That's what I like, you know. This man knows what he knows, and that's why he says, I know. That's enough. You say that, look, I read this book, The Girl on Train, this much. And if you ask me, well, have you completed the book? And I say, I'm well educated in that manner. Then you just ask no questions, because I know everything about it. I just said it.
I'm actually well educated on this topic.
I'm asking you. So you're saying if I criticize you're saying that Islamophobia is not a real thing. That if you're critical of something...
Well, it's not a real thing when we do it.
Of course it's not a real thing when he does it. Obviously he's... Bill Maher is awesome.
Right.
Well, no,
It really isn't.
I'm not denying that certain people are bigoted against Muslims as people.
Right.
And that's a
I
problem.
mean, is there anything wrong with racism and...
Why are you so hostile about this
Because it's
concept?
gross. It's racist.
It's not. But it's so not.
It's like saying
It's
those
so not.
stateless, shifty Jew.
You're not listening
Absolutely
to
not.
what we are saying.
What's his name? Ben Affleck, the worst Batman on the planet. What he says is that don't judge a people as a whole. Don't think of people as being, oh, you're black. All Muslim people are like these fuses, every 1.7 billion one of them. Bill Maher says that they're not. They're people and they're diverse in their thought. Although that's correct by liberal principles, but you know, who cares about liberal principles? Fuck them. So that is the debate that they're having. And I couldn't agree with Bill Maher more, because he's amazing. He's awesome.
Men are created equal.
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
Of course we do. No liberal doesn't want to criticize bad
But
ideas.
Islam at this moment is the mother lode of bad ideas.
Jesus.
So we have
That's
ideas
just a fact.
like
It's not
blasphemy.
It's an ugly thing.
Apostasy.
One basic liberal
Well, let me
principle
unpack
is
it.
tolerance.
Let me unpack.
Oh, this guy just ruined this man's career. Sam Harris, you're fucking wrecked, man. Oh. It's like this guy is telling Bill Maher to be a little...
Liberal.
So on a non-serious... Not serious? On a serious note, what this guy is actually saying is that people are diverse in their thought, and that is what this video is about. The part before, the reaction part, was just a drama in order to bring you to this point. So what I'm trying to say is that what Bill Maher thinks like is a conservative. He's a really fascist level conservative, is what I'm trying to tell you. And he's not new to these kind of really disgusting comments about people. I mean, he said this shit about like 9/11, and after 9/11 he said that, you know, we're just using missiles, we should send the entire army. Oh, what happened? We went into Iraq. Oh, we didn't win. Oh, let's go into Afghanistan. Osama bin Laden's hiding over there. On a side note, What this a larger issue is that he is doing something which is known as dehumanization. And what dehumanization is that if you're fearful of someone, you actually tend to think of them as a pack. So if I say that all Americans are like this book, not the book, this book is America, and these pages are Americans. Fuck the fact that, there are different letters inside it, and every page is different from the previous one. But if you look at it from far away, all you see is the same goddamn pages. They all look white to you. It's so literal, this video, but just trying to throw that out. And the same thing happens when, after 9/11 people got afraid and they started thinking of Muslims as being a book but with brown papers. This is so goddamn cringy, but it's so spot on. And people after America invaded Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, drone strikes in Pakistan. What Muslim people actually think is that America hates us, Americans hate us, and that they're intellectually homogenous when it comes to hating us. So what they do is, they if you think about it, there are two sides of an oppression. One is the oppressor, which is the powerful one, and one is the oppressed, which is the less powerful one. So in many Muslim people, in their minds, I used to be one of them. I used to think like them. So what they think is that America, being the devil, actually is the oppressor. Because it hates Muslims, it wants to crush us and destroy us all. So before I became a liberal, and I was conservative, and I used to hate America, I used to look at this very clip and I didn't know the difference between liberals and conservatives. I used to think that they're just part of the same sort of group, but they're intellectually homogenous, and this hate is actually causing them. When you see liberal people like them, we don't know, in Pakistan, we don't know that liberals exist in America. To us, you are like the pages on a closed book. You all look the same to us. And that is what I call dehumanization, because that is not what you are. Humanization, in my terminology, would be to think of people as diverse. Okay, I mean, they would be in larger groups, but not to paint the entire country with just one brush, but paint the country in smaller strokes, like fine brush. The thing that changed for me was when I went to Bahrain. It's a country near Saudi Arabia, and I met an American girl over there. So she was really hot, by the way. That's why I approached her to What happened was that we started talking about, this Pakistan and the Muslims and all this stuff. And I told her that, look, I really like America. I really wanna, I just really like seeing LA and your movies and stuff. But I don't like the people that live there. So she was like, what's wrong with me? I was like, no, nothing wrong with you, but in general, Americans are known to be like Islamophobic or whatever. And she was like, no, that's wrong. I was like, how is that even possible? Like, you people are known to be very hardline racists and fascists, and you hate Muslims and whatever. So she was like, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. We are different type of people. The group that you're talking about is actually the far right or the conservative type group. I was like, what is that? I don't know what you're talking about. So she was like, there's a liberal group which, is very, very tolerant, and there's this conservative group which is known to be intolerant and very fearful. That is when I stopped thinking of Americans as a page on a closed book, which looked the same from far away. But when you open the page, you realize that like distinct. Every person is different. So it really shifted my perspective. If you think of people as being intellectually homogenous and as pages on a closed book, then you should rethink about the people that you're thinking about. Until the next time, Knight's Burgers up!